Want to look ahead to the 2020 presidential election. Donna Brazile says she believes there are dozens of Democrats just waiting in the wings to take on President Trump. The former interim Democratic National Committee chairman just told USA Today this: "I'm up to 51 people who I think will likely seek the presidency. It's time for this new generation of Democrats to step up. If you want to run, run." Joining us is former Republican presidential candidate Herman Cain. Herman, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Morning, Maria.
What do you think? President's going to have a lot of competition on the Democrat side come 2020, huh?
That doesn't mean that she has 50 leaders. You could have 100 people, but the one that should emerge is someone that shows leadership ability. That's why President Trump won. Secondly, you might have a lot of people interested because the Democrat Party, as you know, is in disarray. So maybe there are some people out there who believe that they can pull the party together and pull the party forward. But just because she has identified a large number that might run doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a serious challenge to President Trump. Well,
I mean, you're right about the message. You need the message that will resonate with the people. Yes. And, of course, the president during the election was all about jobs, economic growth. That's why we're talking about his economic policy so much and the passage of this tax plan. If that doesn't happen, if they can't get it across the finish line, Herman, a lot of people are going to be fired.
You're absolutely right. His message when he was campaigning is the exact agenda that he's carrying out. It's about tax cuts and simplification. We're close. I'm cautiously optimistic, like a lot of people. We didn't get repealed and replaced across the finish line because of Senator John McCain of Arizona, who stabbed America in the back. He's been very straightforward about immigration and the wall. He has not backed down on any of these. There's a whole list. And the regulatory rollback doesn't get as much attention as it should, because I happen to believe that a lot of the regulatory rollback is responsible for a lot of the optimism that we see every day, especially on your show, about what's happening to the stock markets. So if you were to ask, well, what is the message of the Democrat Party? All you have to do is look at Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and the Democrats that are already in elected position. Their message is obstruct, 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 resist, 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 which means they are rejecting the will of the American people. They don't have a message to compare with the message of President Trump.
Yeah. What about his own party? Are you expecting GOPers to come out and try to run for president? I mean, a lot of speculation around Jeff Flake, for example. Is his own party going to try to take him out?
I don't believe any of the GOP people are going to try to run against him to take him out. They're just going to probably try to work against him like many of them are doing right now.
That's true.
If you go to my website, hermancain.com, I have posted "Pay Attention Citizens." We are keeping track of the Republican rhinos on health care, the Republican rhinos on the tax bill, and we're going to keep a rolling list of all of the Republicans in name only so we can share it with the public, because of many of these Republicans, they believe that their constituency has short memories. Some of them do, but we don't. And we're going to make sure people know how on these big issues that the public cares about, many of them did not support the president. And these are the things that the American people want.
Well, that's a good point. We'll go to your website to check that out. We got to talk about LaVar Ball. What's wrong with this person? President Trump is calling for the father of the UCLA player arrested for allegedly shoplifting in China. President is calling his father ungrateful. Here's the tweet to LaVar Ball this morning. It wasn't the White House. It wasn't the State Department. It wasn't Father LaVar's so-called people on the ground in China that got his son out of a long-term prison sentence. It was me. Too bad. LaVar is just a poor man's version of Don King, but without the hair. Just think, LaVar, you could have spent the next 5 to 10 years during Thanksgiving with your son in China, but no NBA contract to support you. But remember, LaVar, shoplifting is not a little thing. It's a really big deal, especially in China. Ungrateful fool. Now, this sentiment is shared by a lot of people, I think, Herman, because the guy refuses to say, hey, Mr. President, thank you for stepping in and getting involved. But should the president be generating time and energy on this?
Probably not.
Exactly.
But the president is who he is. Two things are going on here in my view, Maria. One, LaVar Ball is using this as an opportunity to get attention. Secondly, maybe, I don't know, maybe the president knows that if he goes back at LaVar Ball, that it's going to attract a lot of media attention, to give the media another rabbit to chase, as I call it, that's not going anywhere. There is no substance whatsoever in this exchange between these athletes' father and the president. So it probably is, but there's no substance there, and we'll just see how long people chase this rabbit, as I call it.
Yeah. Herman, you think they're going to get tax reform done?
I'm 90% optimistic that we will. That's the same number that Stuart Varney predicted.
Yep.
I'm right there with Stuart. I think we have a 90% chance that we're going to get it done. Now, everybody's not going to get everything that they want.
Right.
We know that. But I got a real good feeling that we are going to get it across the finish line.
I think it's interesting when you look at the mobility potential, the fact that the state and local income tax deduction goes away. A lot of people have predicted on this program, by the way, Mitch Rochelle, Don Peebles, that we're going to see an exodus out of high-tax states like New York and California. You agree?
I don't think so.
No?
It's not that easy. It's not that easy to move. I think that long term you might see an exodus, but it's not going to be dramatic and right away. Okay. And here's the other thing that a lot of people fail to recognize. The bill that's being considered in the Senate does not totally eliminate the SALT, the state and local taxes. It puts a cap at $10,000. Now, do you know who's most nervous?
Right.
The local politicians.
Well, yeah, the House, and the House bill has the property tax cap. Yeah, the House bill, yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's got a cap on that. So the local politicians are the ones that are most nervous. Why? They can't go to their citizens and say, well, we want to raise your taxes, but don't forget, you can use it as a tax deduction. No, you can't.
No,
Only
can't.
up to $10,000. So it's going to have ramifications all the way down to the local level.
I know that. Herman, good to see you, sir. Thanks so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Same to you. And Maria, one last word.
Yes.
A topic around the Thanksgiving table ought to be the difference between accusations, speculations, and confirmations, because that's what all this stuff is about without a lot of confirmation. Oh. That'll be a good Thanksgiving Day topic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people want to stay away from politics, but I'll raise it. Thank you, Herman.
Definition of words.
Herman Cain, we'll see you soon, sir.